that there's a lot of potential features that can be installed in this project, such as introduction of social media, for example, charity rankings or donation rankings, between many other possibilities.
So to wrap up, there's nothing like this on the market right now that makes donations as simple as downloading an app or making a one-click purchase. And I think this weekend our prototype has gone a long way to approach this objective. We've accomplished a solid first step, I think, to increase the likelihood of somebody taking action and donating without the burden of additional marketing costs for small charities. So, in conclusion, Charity Click will give small charities financial inclusion by simplifying the current donation processes and allowing individuals to take easy action.
Thank you very much for your time.
That's a great one. It's a great implementation of what the advertising industry has just found in the last few years, which is if you get someone after the initial moment, there's a large amount of conversion you can do, and there's some research out there that if you guys aren't aware of, you should become aware of. How much of this did you actually build over the last 36 hours?
Everything.
Everything.
Everything you saw. There is some smoke and mirrors, obviously, but we have a post.
What's left to do?
You need to connect the two, so you need to connect the registration with the actual website. So right now it's hard-coded, so the list is hard-coded. So you just need to make a web service connect the two, and then you pretty much last.
Yeah. Besides it, we can prove
So we have another 24 hours.
Yeah.
We have some time.
I'd like to go back to this point about financial inclusion in education, which is obviously what this session is all about. So, can you just explain to me how you think it relates to the original brief? Although, I must say, I think it's brilliant in terms of the concept that you've come up with and what you've implemented. What do you think about it?
Sure. I think there's a great need for small charities to get their voice out there. And actually, they are being written about in blogs, in videos, and this just leverages the mention. They're mentioned out there. And at the moment, there's very little way for people to actually take action and donate. Yes, they find out about them. Yes, there's kind of brand building, so there's no action. This provides inclusion of small charities, not just Red Cross.
If I may add also what she said, that sometimes they work about these charities, but sometimes they don't put the link towards the website. So what we're trying to do is like every time their name comes out, we're trying to provide them with a link. That would be like, it would help with other possibilities.
And how would you get people to download your browser help brand in the first place?
There's a good product, so spread the word.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's the mechanic. But how would you get the word out there? How would you encourage people to download it?
People would start mouth to mouth, like recommending it, and people would start seeing it. Because we really worked a lot and we really good improvement. People are going to start recommending it.
The other way is that I'm going to try and demonstrate it to the larger charities, like or the aggregators. And if I can get traction with them, it brings them more revenue. So they have incentive. This is not a costly tool for them. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
You can do it with a JavaScript plugin on the site rather than a browser add-on for the user, right? Like Skitlet does, or
Yeah, it's all
JavaScript.
but we need like the web pages to agree to put that.
So that's where we're heading towards.
Yeah.
This is
And-
easy.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Can we get anything else? Can we get anything else?
I checked it out on a laptop. Okay.
Do you want to try it with a laptop? You're reviewing it on a laptop.
You want to have a look as well if you want to see it.
Are you recording right now? Let me give this to Tintin. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eugene. Thanks very much. It's been a pleasure. I mean, some cool solutions, some positive.
Yes, there were some quite good ideas.
We'll see. Yeah. This one's going to be well. This one's going to be quite neat as well. Yeah.
Yes, I remember. Anyway, so I got to go right now and see you next time.
Okay, any sort of follow-up would you like? So we'll be writing some info. We'll pass it to Mr.
Hello.
Thank
I'm really happy to be here. My name is Easy, and we are from a Found Around the World team, which is a game, an app to help teach kids about financial literacy. And before we begin, I would please ask you to give a great round of applause to the team because they've been practicing around this whole weekend, and one of our main goals was to come up with something that we can show you at the end of the weekend, and hopefully our demo is ready to be shown. So let's start a little bit about the problem and tell you about what we thought was a problem that we wanted to fix. So kids are under an increasing pressure to spend money. They watch TV, their friends tell them that they need better brands, better toys, better clothes, and the parents are facing a real problem on how to teach the kids the value of money. So financial literacy is a very important thing for kids because they only know the value of money for what they can buy in the store for that £1. So we thought about this problem and how we can solve it, and we decided that the best way would be to create a game for kids to let them do what they do best and play by showing them how far £1 can go around the world. So this is the concept of purchasing power parity, PPP, and we wanted to teach the kids a few lessons through a game. So we started working on some game mechanics and started thinking about something simple that will enable us to take the kids through a process where they see their £1 going from continent to continent. We worked on wireframes to basically nail down the functionality, and designed all our creative process with the help of our brilliant designer Irene around our users, which are the kids. So how can we make this fun and engaging, but at the same time pass the message and give the message to the kids? We did research, and our research showed that there are some apps out there, some games that try to teach financial literacy, but A, they're very cartoonish, and B, they're too complicated for the kids. It's like mini virtual worlds created by Visa, so like heavily sponsored, and they don't really get the message out quick enough. So the kid has to play for like an hour until he gets the point. And to differentiate ourselves, we wanted to have a game that's passing the message on how much £1 is worth around the world, but at the same time has a minimal look and feel and is inspired by color books. So we created a mascot, we created levels around the world, and we even created virtual goods to give the kids some prize when they get the right answer. And as you can see here, we have the pound around the world, continents, and every time you finish a level, and you get a stamp for that continent. And our goal with this game was really to surprise. If there's one thing we want to accomplish here is to surprise the kid with just showing them really how far £1 can go. And I can give you some examples. So in South America, for example, you can save 7 trees in the rainforest with £1. Yep, it's 15p per tree. In Asia, in India, you can buy unlimited all-you-can-eat curry for £1. Okay? In the UK, you can get maybe like a few gummy bears, but in India, you can have a whole all-you-can-eat meal. And in some places in Europe, you can even buy a phone for £1. So the goal is for the kid, for next time that the kid asks for a gift or gets a gift, he would know exactly like how much money it's worth, because look, with £1 we can do so much. So now I'd like to take you and pray that it will work to a demo.
Okay, so whilst the ankle is just hooking up, and one of the key things, apart from obviously this idea, trying to get young people's idea of really appreciating the value of money, was this concept that young people like to explore the world, they like to learn facts about certain things, and this is why we really try to tap into some of those ideas. So as you can see, Ankle is going to simulate a game. Okay, so you start off in Europe, your first question. Okay, so I'm going to throw this out to the audience. Okay, so if you put £1 into this double machine here, how many do you think you would get for your £1?
3.
3, good. Let's put that in the office. Okay, let's try 3. So fantastic. Yes, so the right answer was 3. So if you were to get that wrong, unfortunately you get a dead fish, which is not something you want to try and collect. But this idea of trying to collect rewards and building up stamps was something we wanted to sort of draw on through the game. I think as we build and in terms of development as well, we currently just have one country per continent. But with sort of more development, we want to try and put more countries in there, more facts about different countries, and really try and sort of acquire that knowledge.
So, as you can see, how many of you were drawn into that question? There's the level of impact there. He was drawn in quite a lot. 3, definitely. So we want to transfer that to the kids, who, you know, just kids come into my bank's classrooms and they have some idea of money and they leave with a better idea of money. So we're going to do that with the game. So we can transfer this through the internet to everybody, adults, children alike. Add some social interaction there, you know, have some rewards, some competition as well. Put it through Facebook, that's the channel, you know, that's the future. But we've got the game so people can play.
I think the key thing is that we found that there's a little bit of research we did, and between the ages of 5 and 16 in this country, there are about 8.5 million young people. So there's a real, you know, captive market to tap into. And if they pick up one little thing and they learn about, you know, whether it's you can save 7 trees with £1, you know, somewhere else in the world. And I think that's, even if we do that one thing, I think that's a fantastic experience.
We'll just go back to Steve to
Sure.
finish
Transfer it back.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. So basically, one word about impact. Gaming is something that's already built in culturally. Oh, can you play it again, Tom? The bottom little icon. It's elusive.
5 seconds.
So thank you very much.
I love it. Are you guys creating all of the content? If a teacher knows a great fact, is there a way for them to share it or add on, or is this like, where does all the content come from?
And so our original idea was to make it open so people can add their own questions and also localize it to different markets. So maybe we have it, you know, like how much is 1 rupee worth around the world? The game would be a little bit more boring. But we want to make it open. At the moment it's pre-coded and we had 3 people working on something.
One of the big drivers in gaming interaction at the moment is obviously the social element that encourages people in different places remotely to compete against each other. How do you see that as part of your concept? Yeah, it's a very good question. So I think the idea of, you know, going around the world, there's also with the final game, if you like, one thing we in terms of commercialising it, we said that if you wanted to buy the full game with sort of extra levels, then obviously more questions that would come in every sort of couple of weeks or a month, depending on how the content. And then we'd look to say that £1 that you put forward to that would go to my bank and trying to spread the word around the world, if you like. So we're tapping into that.
Yeah, not just say this for a social, we have to keep in mind the audience of the game. Facebook is a 13+ website, so are most social networks. It really makes sense to have Facebook integration built into this because people would be legally unable to use it.
But I think that's the key thing. We wanted to try and open it up to as many people as we could, and not just sort of keep it to that sort of Facebook market. So mostly your own score at the end of the game.
impressive demo. So impressive, it's hard to tell how much is behind it. What are your plans to come out of here and actually make this reality so parents can sit down with their kids or their kids can find it on the web and use it?
It's a great question. So
we're open to all your suggestions.
Yeah, we want to open it to the community. We put the project up on Random Hacks for Goodness as well. We have 10 questions, but ideally, if we can build a crowdsourced part of it and have people upload their own questions, the game would be self-sustained. So we believe that there's a lot of potential and we want to take it all the way.